In your book of poetry, The Love of Centuries, many of the poems appear to portray the love for a single person that spans many lifetimes, and sometimes the love is not easy or smooth.
Is it ever?
Supreme Master, can you tell us why the soul chooses this path? Is it to develop unconditional love? Would you say that true love is unique? And is it always the same lover that we meet life after life? If so, how come there is such a strong affinity? Supreme Master, do you think it's possible to share with us the love of centuries of yours? Thank you. I love you and I appreciate you.
I love you too. What makes you think that I wrote it for the lover of my century, huh? So, if I wrote about a puppy's feeling, then you think I'm a puppy as well? The dog? Or the poem about the pig in my poetry book, then you think I'm the pig as well? I told you poetry is not always expressing the personal feeling. But now, to your question. It's not that we have to go through that in order to learn about unconditional love. It's just that the karmic attraction, you see. And it's not always the same lovers that we meet life after life, although we do. Sometimes there are several even, sometimes just pure enemies from the past existence. You'll be surprised. Those who are enemies from past lives must smooth out together in this life through love. That's why they meet each other again and even fell in love. But it's hard for humans to distinguish, to differentiate who is who. Because both encounters of past lovers and past enemies will give us equally strong, forceful attraction that we might possibly choose the wrong ones, like the past enemy to be life partner. In fact, the attraction between enemies is even stronger than lovers sometimes. That's why love at first sight is not always long-lasting or happy ending. You know that. In the case of the enemy, it is for us to iron out past mistakes that we did to the other person or the other person to us. Put balm on the injured part of our relationship memories so that love will heal all past sorrow and correct vengeful inclination. That's how the souls make peace with each other, evolved to a higher spiritual level, and redeem the negative traces on their path and add more everlasting energy to the planet. It all hangs together, you see. Now, you'll be surprised, but our surrounding people, for example, like family members, friends, acquaintances, lovers, are varied in friend quality. I call that FQ then, for easy to identify. There are people with more FQ, mean friendly quality, friend quality, or more EQ, enemy quality. But we can change that, of course. It takes a long time. It takes some time. It takes love to change from EQ to FQ, from enemy to friend. But we have to cooperate. We have to try our best, both sides, in order to change enemy to friend. It needs the cooperation of both, person. So it's very difficult to know who is friend, who is enemy at the beginning. It takes a long time and keen observation to verify it. It could be a very painful process. Often we realize it too late. Because enemies people are often capable of making us believe that they are helpful and friend-like. In small ways they are. And then wait until some real important events happen to you. Then you will see their true nature. They either make trouble for you, disturb you so that you cannot reach your goal or you cannot fulfill your business, things like that, or make trouble in your family. Even master's disciples are not all with FQ. You see, quite an astonishing numbers that follow any masters are with EQ, mean enemy quality. These are either there to cause trouble from within or to bring troubles into the master life, or to come back to enter the master circle in order to redeem their past sin, that they have harmed the masters or someone in the past life, and now they came back to redeem the mistake. But even then, if they came back to redeem the mistake, the master have suffered a lot, must suffer a lot in order to carry the burden of bad karma of this person, especially if that person has harmed the master in the past life. The bad karma is very, very, very heavy, very difficult. No one else can rescue this person except the master, because they have done harm to this master in the past life. But it's very difficult to deal with this kind of EQ disciple. It's also hard on their part, even though they try. The disciple always get entangled in the past bad karma and being poured into the darkness and in the negative action again and again and again, in different way, but similar to the past life action. It just maybe less intensity. Okay. Most true masters suffer or die because of these EQ disciples. Sometimes even die under their hands. If any master who are lucky and not have EQ disciples, they would never have to suffer at all. Even Buddha, has been tried assassination several times. Some masters have about 60% of EQ disciples. Some masters have about 30 or 40% disciples as average in their lives. If they're lucky, they would have 50-50. But even if the master knows that these or that disciple are the EQ incarnate, they rarely refuse them because of compassion, because they are the only one can help them. So we have, you see, for example, in the history of Christianity, we have Judah for Jesus and Devadatta for Buddha, for example. And there was a story in the kingdom of China. There's a book called The Three Kingdoms of China, one of the Chinese great literature. Okay, these EQ disciples or people, they don't have to do things deliberately in this lifetime. They could just harm the master invisibly even, and making them ill, making them sick, or doing things that are making trouble. Yes. Maybe even with the law or with the peace in the house, or that the master well-beings, or interfere or obstruct master's mission in this lifetime. Even they don't do it on purpose. They just do it because the habit of the bad karma force to keep pulling them. And it's very strong, and if they're not strong enough, if they don't practice well and don't listen to the master instruction, then they will be always, like what you say, the pebble in the shoes of the master. Yes. And the same with the family members. No? That's why many families are not happy. Yes. We go back to China. There is a story in the Three Kingdoms. Yes. There was a very wise person named Khổng Minh. He is a great assistant to the king. And because his job has not done, the king still needs him. So he wanted to extend his life for another 12 years in order to help the younger king. So he prepared a ritual for that. There are some ritual you can prepare to extend your life. It could be true. I have not tried. So this is called white magic or black magic stuff, you know. Now, so he prepared like 12 lamb to symbolize the 12 years extension. But before he finished meditation on this course, one of his assistants came in and clumsily extinguished the lamp, one of it. So that symbolizes Khổng Minh life extension is also extinguished with it. So he knew that he cannot stay longer. And then he prepared for his passing. You know, Khổng Minh, this master, he knew this man is bad for him. He knew it long ago already. He knew it from beginning already. But because he still need him to do things. And at the last moment, see, this man came in and he can't avoid that. So he died soon after. Now, to answer your question concerning my love of centuries, even if I have one, what is the use of telling you? Huh? Who is going to believe me anyway, you know? Most humans in this world are all covered up by the dust of forgetfulness. Yeah?